I realize on a Wednesday morning, standing in Marcus's kitchen, that I can't remember the last time I made a decision without checking with him first. Not a big decision. Any decision. What to eat, where to go, who to see, what to wear. I'm holding a mug of coffee he's made for me exactly the way I like it, and I'm trying to remember if I've always liked it this way or if I've just learned to. The thought makes me feel ungrateful. Marcus is good to me. Everyone says so. I say so. I must have said it 100 times in the last 6 months. He's so thoughtful. He really takes care of me. I'm lucky. That's what I tell people. That's what I tell myself. It starts 8 months ago with something so small I almost don't notice it happening. We're at dinner, a Thai place near my flat, and I'm scrolling through my phone while we wait for food. Marcus reaches across the table and gently pushes my phone face down. Not aggressive. Just a light touch. He smiles and says we should be present with each other. He says he wants to really talk to me, not compete with a screen. It's sweet. It is. I put the phone in my bag, and we talk about our days, and the food comes, and it's a nice evening. I don't think about it again until the next time we're out, and he does the same thing. And the time after that. At some point I stop taking my phone out at all when I'm with him. It becomes automatic, a rule I've internalized without anyone speaking it aloud. Marcus and I meet through work, sort of. He's a friend of a friend, works in finance, always well dressed in that casual, expensive way where everything fits perfectly and nothing has visible branding. We match on a dating app, but he tells me on our first date he'd already noticed me at a party 3 months earlier. He remembers what I was wearing. A green dress with buttons down the front. He remembers I was drinking red wine and talking about a book I'd just finished. I'm flattered by the attention to detail. I'm charmed. He seems like someone who pays attention, who cares about the small things. I like that. I've dated too many people who barely listen, who forget what I tell them, who can't remember if I have siblings or what I do for work. Marcus remembers everything. The first month is easy and bright and uncomplicated. We text constantly. He sends me good morning messages and articles he thinks I'll find interesting, and photos of things that remind him of me. A bookshop window display, a cafe with my favourite pastries, a sunset from his office. He's romantic without being overwhelming. He asks questions and listens to the answers. He wants to know about my childhood, my friends, my job, my dreams, my fears. I feel seen. I feel interesting. When I talk, he leans in. When I make a joke, he laughs like he means it. He introduces me to his friends after 6 weeks. They're polite and successful, and they seem to approve of me, which feels like passing a test I didn't know I was taking. One of them, a woman named Charlotte who works with Marcus, pulls me aside at a pub and says I'm good for him. She says he seems calmer since we started dating. More grounded. I glow with the compliment for days. He starts staying over at my flat most nights. It happens gradually. 1 night becomes 2, becomes 4, becomes every night, except when he has early meetings. He keeps a toothbrush in my bathroom, then a drawer of clothes, then half the wardrobe. I don't mind. I like waking up next to him. I like the way he makes the bed properly, with hospital corners, and how he always washes up his coffee mug instead of leaving it in the sink. He's tidy in a way I'm not. He notices when the bins need emptying and just does it without making a big deal. He picks up groceries on his way over, things I've run out of, things I didn't even realize I needed. He's helpful. He makes my life easier. I appreciate it. Then he mentions my flat is smaller than his. He's not wrong. I live in a 1-bedroom conversion in Archway with thin walls and a shower that runs cold if the neighbours are using theirs. His place is a 2-bedroom in Clapham with high ceilings and wood floors and a kitchen with an island. He suggests I could save money by moving in with him. Split the rent, he says, though I know he earns twice what I do and could afford the place on his own. But he frames it as practical, sensible. We're together most nights anyway. Why pay for 2 places? I hesitate, because moving in together after 4 months feels fast, but everyone I mention it to says it makes sense. My mum says it's responsible. Maya, my best friend, says, if I'm sure about him, then why wait? I am sure about him. I think I am. So I say yes. The move happens on a Saturday in October. Marcus hires movers, even though I don't have that much stuff. He's organised about it, has labelled boxes and a system for unpacking. My things look smaller in his flat, less significant. My books fit on one shelf of his bookcase. My kitchen equipment is redundant because he already has better versions of everything. Sharper knives, heavier pans, a coffee grinder I didn't know anyone actually owned. He suggests we donate my duplicates, keep the best of everything. It makes sense. I agree. We take 4 boxes to the charity shop that afternoon. I feel lighter, streamlined. That's the word Marcus uses. He says we're streamlining our life together. He has routines I start to absorb. He wakes at 6:15 every morning, runs for 40 minutes, showers, makes breakfast. Always the same breakfast. Eggs, spinach, sourdough toast. He drinks black coffee and reads the news on his tablet. I'm not a morning person, but I start waking when he does because the alarm goes off and he doesn't use snooze, just gets up immediately, and it feels wasteful to lie in bed alone. I start running with him. Not every day at first. Just sometimes. He's encouraging about it. Says it's good for my mental health. Says I seem happier on the days I exercise. He might be right. I do feel more awake, more virtuous. I start going 4 times a week, then 5. He buys me expensive running shoes for my birthday, the kind with custom insoles. They fit perfectly. He must have measured my feet while I was sleeping. His friends become my friends, or the people I see most often. We have dinner parties at the flat, carefully planned affairs with wine pairings and cheese boards. I enjoy them mostly. Everyone is smart and successful, and they talk about property and investments and restaurants I've never heard of. I feel slightly out of my depth, but I'm learning. Marcus sometimes puts his hand on my knee under the table when I say something he approves of. A little squeeze. Positive reinforcement. I find myself trying to earn those squeezes, saying things I think he'll like, laughing at the right moments. I'm performing, but it doesn't feel dishonest exactly. More like I'm becoming a better version of myself. The version he sees in me. Maya notices something is different. We meet for lunch on a Tuesday, my day off, and she says I seem quiet. I tell her I'm fine, just tired. She asks if I'm happy with Marcus, and I say yes immediately, maybe too immediately, and she looks at me for a long moment before nodding. We used to meet every week, but it's been a month since I've seen her, maybe longer. I've cancelled twice because Marcus planned things without checking with me first, and it seemed easier to reschedule with Maya than to tell him I had other plans. She doesn't say anything about the cancellations, but I can feel the distance growing between us. I tell myself I'll make more effort. I don't. Marcus starts having opinions about my clothes. Not mean opinions, helpful ones. He'll say things like that skirt makes me look shorter than I am, or that colour washes me out, or those jeans are a bit too tight, aren't they? He always smiles when he says it. He's trying to help. He works in an image-conscious industry, and he knows about these things. I start asking his opinion before I get dressed. He picks out outfits for important meetings at work. He's good at it. I get compliments. My boss says I look professional, put together. I buy fewer clothes because Marcus has edited my wardrobe down to pieces that work, that fit his aesthetic for me. I save money. Everything coordinates. I look like someone who has their life in order. He suggests I change my hair. I've had a blonde balayage for years, the kind that requires touch-ups every few months and costs more than I want to admit. Marcus says it looks damaged. He says my natural color would be healthier, more sophisticated. He uses that word a lot, sophisticated. He shows me photos of women with simple brown hair, glossy and well cut. They do look good, elegant, grown up. I book an appointment and dye it back to brown. When I come home, Marcus says I look beautiful, more like myself. I'm not sure what he means by that, but I smile and thank him. I catch my reflection over the next few days, and sometimes I don't recognize myself immediately. The person in the mirror looks like someone's girlfriend, someone's wife even, someone serious. I decide I like it. My friends from work invite me out on a Friday. Drinks at a bar in Soho, the kind of messy night that usually goes too late and costs too much and leaves me hungover on Saturday. I mention it to Marcus and he doesn't say I can't go. He never says I can't do anything. He just asks questions. Who will be there? What time it starts? How I'm getting home. He mentions he was hoping we could try that new restaurant he's been wanting to go to. He's made a reservation. He looks disappointed when I say I already have plans. Not angry, just sad. Like I've let him down. I feel guilty in a way that's hard to pinpoint. I tell my work friends I can't make it. Marcus seems relieved. We go to the restaurant and it's lovely. Truly lovely. And I tell myself I made the right choice. Adult relationships are about compromise, about showing up for each other. He starts checking my phone, not secretly. I give him the passcode when he asks for it. He needs to look up a number or check a message or find a photo. Normal reasons. But then I notice he's scrolling through my messages sometimes when I'm in the shower or making tea. He'll mention things I've said to people. He'll ask who someone is, someone who texted me. He'll say he's just curious, just interested in my life. He wants to know me completely. I tell myself it's romantic. Intimacy means no secrets. I have nothing to hide anyway. Maya texts less. I don't blame her. I've become boring. I've cancelled on her 5 times in 3 months. When she asks if I want to do something, I tell her I need to check with Marcus first. She stops asking. On her birthday, I send a message instead of calling. She replies with a thumbs up emoji. I stare at it and feel something crack inside me, but I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what I'd even say. Marcus suggests we get a joint bank account, just for shared expenses, he says. Rent, groceries, utilities. It makes it easier to track what we're spending. I set up the account and transfer money each month. Then he suggests I could just have my salary go into the joint account. Simpler that way, less transfers to remember. I hesitate, but he points out we share everything anyway. What's mine is yours, he says. It's romantic when he says it. I change my direct deposit. He sends me a breakdown each month of where the money goes. He's meticulous about it. Colour-coded spreadsheets, charts showing our spending patterns. He's identified areas where we could save. Takeaway coffee mostly, lunches out, taxis when I could take the bus. I start packing lunch. I make coffee at home. Our savings account grows. Marcus shows me the balance with pride. Look what we've achieved together, he says. He starts talking about my job. I work in marketing for a small non-profit. The pay isn't great, but I like the mission, the people. Marcus says I'm wasting my potential. He knows people in corporate marketing who make double what I make. Triple. He could introduce me. He could help me with my CV. I tell him I'm happy where I am and he nods, but I can see he's disappointed. Over the next few weeks, he brings it up again and again. He frames it as caring about my future. Our future. He says if we want to buy a flat, have kids someday, I need to earn more. I've never said I want kids, but I don't correct him. I start to feel embarrassed about my job. When people ask what I do at dinner parties, I see Marcus's expression tighten slightly. I start saying I'm thinking of moving into corporate. People nod approvingly. Marcus squeezes my knee under the table. I apply for a job his friend tells me about. I don't really want it, but Marcus has already told them about me, already talked me up. It feels rude not to try. I get an interview. Marcus coaches me through it, tells me what to wear, what to say, how to sit. I get a second interview, then an offer. The salary is 70% more than what I make now. Marcus is thrilled. He opens a bottle of champagne. He says he's proud of me. I give notice at my old job, and my boss looks surprised, hurt even. She says she thought I was happy there. I say it's time for a change, growth opportunity. She nods, but doesn't look convinced. The new job is fine. The work is boring, but I'm good at it. My colleagues are professional and distant. No one asks if I want to get drinks after work. I tell myself this is what adult jobs are like. Marcus seems happier. He likes telling people what I do now. He likes the money. We start looking at flats to buy, 2-bedroom places in areas I've never considered living, expensive areas, investment areas. Marcus does all the research. He knows about mortgage rates and stamp duty and catchment areas for schools we don't need. He's planning our whole future, and I'm just following along, nodding, agreeing. It's easier than having opinions. My mum visits on a Sunday. We haven't seen each other in months. She lives 2 hours away, but I've been too busy to visit, and she's been too polite to push. Marcus makes lunch, something impressive with multiple courses. He's charming and attentive, and my mum clearly likes him. After he leaves the room to take a work call, she turns to me and says I seem different. Quieter. I tell her I'm just tired. New job stress. She looks at me the way mothers do, seeing through the easy answer, and says she wants me to know I can always come home if I need to. The comment sits strangely. Need to. As if I might need to escape. I laugh it off. Tell her everything is great. She doesn't look reassured, but she drops it. Marcus and I stop having sex as often. We used to have sex all the time, spontaneous and fun. Now it's scheduled. Sunday mornings usually. He initiates and I respond, and it's fine, functional, but it doesn't feel like desire. It feels like another item on the routine. Another thing we do because we're supposed to. I never initiate anymore. I can't remember when I stopped. He doesn't seem to notice or mind. Maybe he prefers it this way. Predictable. Controlled. I realize I don't laugh much anymore. I used to laugh easily, loudly, at stupid things. Marcus doesn't really do stupid things. He's always composed, always appropriate. I've learned to match his tone. I'm composed now too. Appropriate. My work friend Emma mentions it at the coffee machine one day. She says I used to be funnier. She's smiling when she says it, teasing, but it stings because it's true. I make some excuse about being stressed, and she nods, and we don't talk about it again. Marcus starts commenting on what I eat. Just observations, really. You're having carbs again. That's your second glass of wine. Are you sure you want dessert? He's not stopping me, just noticing aloud. I become hyper-aware of every bite, every sip. I start eating less when he's around. I've lost weight without trying. He says I look good, healthy. I feel hungry most of the time. We're at a dinner party at Charlotte's flat when someone asks me about my old job, the non-profit. I start to answer and Marcus interrupts. He tells the story instead, frames it as me outgrowing a starter job, moving on to bigger things. He makes it sound ambitious and strategic, when really I just gave up something I cared about because it was easier than disappointing him. Everyone nods. Someone says, "Good for you." I smile and say nothing. I've learned that's safest. I run into Maya on the street one Saturday, literally run into her outside a shop in Angel. We both stop, surprised. She hugs me and it feels like muscle memory from another life. She asks how I am and I say, "Good, busy, the usual things." She asks if I want to grab coffee and I glance at my phone automatically. Marcus is expecting me home. We're meal prepping for the week. I tell her I can't, maybe another time. She says okay, but her face does something I don't want to examine. She says she misses me. I say I miss her too, and I mean it so intensely it hurts. We stand there for a moment, and I can feel her wanting to say something else, something real. But I'm already backing away, already leaving. I watch her walk off and I want to call out, to run after her, to say I'm sorry for disappearing, for becoming someone else, for letting this happen. I don't. I go home. Marcus asks what took so long. I tell him the queue was long. He believes me because I've become a good liar. Marcus suggests I deactivate my social media. He says it's a waste of time, a distraction. He's probably right. I haven't posted in months anyway. What would I post? Photos of meal prep containers. The inside of the gym. My life has become small and beige and curated. I deactivate Instagram, then Facebook. I feel disconnected but also relieved. Fewer people to perform for. Fewer chances to be compared to my old self. One night I'm in the bathroom and I look at myself in the mirror, really look, and I don't recognize the person staring back. She has brown hair styled the way Marcus likes. She's wearing the pajamas Marcus bought because they're better quality. She's thinner and quieter and more tired. She looks like someone who's given up but doesn't know it yet. I stand there for a long time, waiting to feel something. Anger, maybe. Sadness. Some spark of resistance. I feel nothing. Just empty. Marcus knocks on the door, asks if I'm okay. I say yes. I always say yes. I open the door and he's standing there in his matching pajamas, looking concerned and caring, and I realize this is it. This is my life now. This is who I've become. Someone who asks permission. Someone who checks first. Someone who's slowly erased herself to fit into someone else's idea of who she should be. He asks again if I'm okay. He sounds genuinely worried. He probably is worried. He probably does care. That's what makes it worse. There's no villain here. No moment where he became someone terrible. Just 1,000 tiny moments where I said yes when I meant no. Where I agreed to make things easier. Where I chose not to fight because fighting felt too hard. I tell him I'm fine. I smile. He smiles back and pulls me into a hug. He says he loves me. I say I love him too. The words feel like stones in my mouth. We go to bed. He falls asleep quickly, one arm draped over me. I lie awake listening to him breathe. I think about my old flat with the cold shower, my old job with the mission I believed in, my pink hair, my friends I used to see, my life that was messier and louder and more mine. I think about leaving, just getting up right now, packing a bag, walking out, going to Maya's, going to my mum's, going anywhere. I don't move. I know I won't move. And that's the worst part. Not that he's changed me. That I've let him. That I've participated in my own disappearance. That somewhere along the way I decided being loved was more important than being myself. And now I don't know how to be myself anymore, even if I wanted to. Marcus stirs in his sleep, pulls me closer. I close my eyes. Tomorrow I'll wake up at 6:15. I'll go running. I'll eat the breakfast he makes. I'll wear the clothes he approves of. I'll go to the job I don't want. I'll come home and prep meals and smile and agree and slowly, quietly, continue to vanish. The thought should terrify me, and it doesn't. I'm already gone.